What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Stories Beyond the Field. I'm Gabe Kalama.
I'm Hayden Kalama.
And today I'm joined by my bro.
I'm Zander Ditona. Little something about me, I play baseball here at Pacific University. I play third base and catcher, and I'm also a senior here.
All right. So to get straight into it, a little bit of your bio from boxer.com, goboxers.com. It says you're from Castro Valley, California. Is that correct?
That is very correct.
All right. So tell me about Castro Valley. What's special about it?
Not a lot special about it, but it's a small little town in the East Bay of the Bay Area, about like 40 minutes from San Francisco, 20 minutes from Oakland, kind of just in the middle of like everything. Yeah, small little town, but it's like somewhat big-ish. My high school was pretty big. I don't remember how many people, but it's like on the bigger end, yeah. So, but I grew up there for about, what is that? I'm trying to think right now. Like 11 years, yeah.
Okay.
Been there for 11 years. I lived in like Bakersfield before that, and then I moved up there to the Bay when I was in second grade, and then lived there since, and I'm there.
So what age did you start playing baseball?
I was introduced to the sport from what I can remember about like 4 years old. Like my dad got me just some stuff for baseball. I picked it up pretty fast, played a lot of it, and then I didn't start playing like in a league or whatever until about 8 years old.
Like growing up, is there anybody that you idolized, you really wanted to kind of take after them?
My dad was probably a big inspiration to me. Like, I don't know, like I'm sure like when your dad's there and like he's involved in sports with you, like it's just easy to look up to him. Some like MLB players I looked up to. I was a Giants fan growing up. So and I loved catching. So like at the time I watched like Buster Posey, who was the catcher at that time. So I really idolized him. But yeah, those two are probably the biggest inspirations to me when I was like growing up with baseball.
Did you have a dad as a coach?
Sometimes when I was really young, like kind of like rec league, little league. He would like a volunteer coach as like an assistance coach, and he'd be there sometimes. But when I started getting older, playing more competitive leagues, like he would just be from the spectating side, and then kind of would coach me like after the games, you know, just like side conversations and like private conversations.
So like him kind of being there and being like an assistant type of coach, like what was that like for you, and how did that like shape how you played the game?
That's a good question. I mean, my dad was pretty traditional, so like he's obviously pretty hard on me, especially when I started getting older and like things were getting more competitive. I mean, I was obviously he was doing it to like toughen me up and whatnot, and I realize that now. But back then it was like hard. Like someone was just yelling at me all the time when I failed, which is tough on you. Like if now someone were to yell at me for like failing, like that's just hard to take sometimes. But I mean, looking back at it now, it definitely shaped me into the player who I am now. Definitely toughened me up and taught me how to push through when things got hard.
So I think it's safe to say now that your dad is somebody you really rely on to help you get through some of the struggles you do in college baseball.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, he's over the past like 4 years I've been here, and even like a little bit in high school, like he kind of turned from a coach into like just a spectator. Like sometimes he would still coach me if I was going through a slump. Like he'd give me a text, give me a little tip, or like kind of call me to help me reset, just help me get my mind off things. But but he's still a big part of my game now. Like I would text him sometimes of like if he watched the game or not, and then he would like coach me up on a few things. But usually now it's just more of like a, good job, like you did good, and then yeah.
Him kind of being there for you in your early stages of your career. Did you ever feel like pressure to perform better because he was there? Or was it more like I gotta perform really good to make him proud?
Kind of yes to both of those questions. I don't know. Even so, I was in California about like 3 weeks ago, and I started a game, and my parents were there. I don't know what it is. Every time my dad is there, it kind of just gives me an extra edge. Like I kind of have to prove something to him. But I think that just comes from like early ages of just like when he was hard on me, like me being good or me doing good in front of him, kind of just like prove that I don't suck.
Yeah.
Like I think that just gives me an edge, and like that might come off as like sort of a bad thing in a way, but in my mind, I see it as a good thing. Like it's just motivation. But yeah, like whenever he was around, either now or young, like it just gives me extra motivation to just perform and just do my thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think me and my brother can really attest to that because he had my dad as his head coach, where my dad was just the running backs coach when I was playing in high school football, and like it was one of those things where like him just being there for me was kind of like my guiding light, because a lot of the coaches that I played with, they thought I was ass. So like him just kind of being there, it kind of like helped cancel out those voices and being like, I know right now he's Coach Lincoln. He's not my dad, but like
Yeah.
I know deep down he's still gonna be like my dad and try to pick me up when
Yeah.
like all these other guys are like, nah, he's trash. Like let's find a new guy. But like to some extent, it's also like that fuel that like
Yeah, guaranteed.
yeah. But so let's get back into baseball a little bit. I want to ask you about like a catcher's perspective in baseball because I feel like nobody really pays attention to the catcher. They're just that guy that's
Yeah,
right at the
I would say
base.
so. Yeah,
So like, what is baseball like from the catcher's perspective?
it's hard. I'll definitely say that.
Yeah.
Like some people give it credit, some people don't, but catching is definitely one of the harder positions on the field. But you're involved in every single play because, obviously the pitcher's got to throw every single pitch and you're the one to catch it. Sometimes it's long innings. You're out there for a while. You're squatting down. Your legs are getting tired. You're cramping sometimes. And if it's hot, like your heck could dehydrated and it's just a lot. And then it's a very physical position because, like, you gotta throw a lot, you gotta catch a lot, you gotta like block the ball with your chest, you gotta move around a lot. And then right after that, you gotta go hit at some point, run around, and you're just tired the whole game. I think playing catcher definitely teaches you a lot of perseverance.
Mm.
Like just a lot of perseverance, like not just in baseball, just in life. Just when things get hard, when things hurt, like just keep going because at the end it'll pay out.
For you, mentality wise, just always being in that squatted position, what really helps you when you're like, you feel really sore and you feel kind of to that breaking point? What kind of gets you into like, okay, I need to keep going kind of mode?
I would say there's like two things. One is just like a I don't know, kind of like an automatic just keep going, like no matter what. Like it's just a simple thing that I always do no matter if I get tired or not. Another one is why, like my why of why I'm playing this position. I feel like a lot of people forget when they're playing the why of why they're playing that sport. Sometimes you forget that the game is just a game. Like it should be fun. You enjoy the game. That's like my personal why is like baseball has been just the sport that clicked with me and it's been my lifestyle. So I just try to remember how I got here, what brought me up, and then that just kind of drives me from to never quit.
Nice. Like I like that a lot actually, because I feel like a lot of people do forget their why, especially when they reach the college level and like
Mhm.
it's such a different breed of athletics.
Yeah.
Like it's not like high school anymore, where like if you have a bad game, you can kind of rebound. Whereas like college football is, excuse me, college sports is almost like a business.
Mhm.
Like they have to put their best guys out there, and
Mhm.
like I feel like a lot of people can lose their why do I do this right away when they're like benched after a bad game and they have to really fight their way back to the top. So I agree with that.
Mm.
But I want to ask you a little bit about this season so far. Like you're 2-7, is that right? So I'm assuming that's not the start you guys imagined. So how do you and the rest of the team kind of like reset and lock in for the upcoming weeks?
I would just say, like I mentioned before, perseverance is probably the biggest thing. Like last year, we started 0-9,
Yeah,
but then we ended up winning conference,
that's true.
which is still crazy to think about. But I think it's just trust is a big key of maintaining success, no matter where you are in the season. Like either trusting the process, trusting each other, like your teammates, your coaches, and just trusting the foundation you guys built in the fall, preseason, or before each game. I think trust is just a big thing of keeping good teams good, and then that what also separates teams from other teams.
Yeah.
And what about like mentality wise? I know for me this season, we struggled with 3 really bad losses early on, and mentality went way down from there. And over the weeks, we had to pick it up and really make sure we were on each other's case to push our hardest out, so that when it comes to game day, we weren't struggling and we could compete with D1 teams. So, what's that mentality like for you guys going through wins and losses?
I think a good mentality that we have or like to keep is that no matter who's on the other side of the field, it's just another person, another team. Like no matter who you play, no matter what kind of level they play, um, you're out there for a reason, right? Like it's you against the other people or the other team. There's no other like external resources or external factors that will affect how you play, right? So it's up to yourself to drive your mental capacity and your physical ability to the best of its ability. So mentally, I think it's just think that you're the best and that you're just playing another team. Like you're playing a game that you love. So I think you should just try to keep it as simple as possible.
Is that like a mentality from Coach Upwood? Like, how does he kind of like prepare you guys for games?
So from Coach Upwood, I mean, I'm still getting accustomed to his playing style. He only came in last year. Last year is his first year.
That's right.
So, but the way he gets us ready to games is he definitely is a very motivating coach. Like every time we mess up or don't do the little things right, he gets on us very hard. He's a big do the simple things right. Because if you can't do the simple or small things right, you're not going to be able to do the big things even better.
Yeah, for sure.
So he really focuses on the little things. He just wants us to improve from the day before, keep up what we're doing. If we do good, do better the next day. If we do bad, don't do it again. You
Yeah.
know? So
And you mentioned do the little things. For baseball, what exactly like are the little things?
the little things is like baseball's a very outcome sport.
Yeah.
Very like based on failure and success. Because like there's a big saying where it's like if you go 3 for 10 at the plate, you're technically a really good hitter. Which in most cases 30% is not good at anything, right?
That's true.
But so if you can do the small things correct, in this case, the game of baseball, we like to say control the controllables. So your mentality, your routine, like how you show up before a game, before practice, that's controllable. That's what you can control prior to performance. So basically, like what you have in control is what you can control, and if you can take control of that, I think your whole game, your game style, what you practice, that will come into play definitely.
How did his inclusion into the team, how did that adversity feel every member of your group? How did it either bring you guys up, and how did it really help you feel you guys?
Like my coach.
Yeah, your coach.
So it's different. I mean, it's not normal or like usual for like a head coach to come in out of nowhere, especially when you're playing, right? So there's definitely a big turn of events. I went through 2 years with my old head coach, so I was already accustomed to him. So halfway through my college career, like I got switched mentalities, but our coach fit in pretty nicely. Like we got along with him pretty quick. He's such a good, chill dude, but he'll definitely know when to push you when you need to be pushed. He's big on, like I said, the small things, big on mindset, but also big on just being a dog, like stepping up. Don't let anyone belittle you because he knows the potential of our team. So he likes to emphasize of playing to our max level.
Yeah, I did talk to Coach Upwood maybe like a couple weeks ago because I had to write a article for the Index about your guys' team, and I definitely caught that vibe of that. Like he's very like locked in all the time, and he wants to do what's best for the team. He wants like the younger guys to step up and like really help the team get better every day instead of just being the younger guys that kind of sit around and do nothing.
Yeah,
Like
indeed.
he just seems like a coach that really just wants everyone to do their best and like always be ready for their own opportunity.
Yeah, he's a big team guy. Like, there'd be a lot of times where like our energy would be down in the dugout, and that's because of the bench players, and like he would get on the bench players for that.
Yeah.
He doesn't blame a lot on like the guys playing. I mean, obviously, like if the guys that are playing make mistakes or anything, like he'll mention it, but he includes everybody, and he says that every loss is a team loss. He doesn't individualize anybody.
I think that's important too because like nobody wants to be blamed for a loss.
Yeah.
But like when a coach can say that like it's the whole team needs to do better, it feels like I feel like it takes a lot off of the shoulders of the players who felt like it was their fault.
Yeah.
And like like then the team itself can find a way to help each other get better, focus on what they could have done better, and focus on getting ready for the next game. Now we've been talking a lot about baseball, and on this show we have a question that we like to ask everybody. Hayden, why don't you hit him with that question about the music?
I could try. So a question we ask all of our athletes here is there a pregame hype song that you use to fuel you up before every single game? That gets your blood going, that makes you just in that zone, ready to go be a dog out there.
A specific song I don't know, but I used to be a big, heavy like rap guy. In high school, I used to be, and then up until like freshman year of college, I switched. I switched to reggae actually. Obviously, this Pacific is a big Hawaiian population. It's easy to get influence from the music here. I listened to it like prior to college, but then like my like knowledge of different reggae artists expanded, so I listened to it more and more. I realized like I'm more of like a calm before the storm kind of guy. I don't like to get too antsed up, too hype. I like to stay level so that when the game time comes around and the adrenaline hits, that I'm not too high. And like since I'm low before the game, it just gets right to that perfect middle. But right now, it's hard to think of a song right now. I literally just like I'll have like a rotation of like different songs at a time. But yeah, right now, I guess the way to go.
Yeah, that's how. I mean, this is like completely off topic, but like I remember when I first moved in with you and Miles, I
Mm.
thought you were from the islands.
Yeah.
Bro just looks like he's from the islands. Like, you know, he just gives off that local boy vibe.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure.
When you said you was listening to reggae, I was like, no way! There's no way he's not from the islands.
Yeah.
But
Like, well, there's like two different types of reggae. So like,
yeah.
there's like cool and calm music, right? But then there's like the hard type of music, like Kanaka Fire or Small Axe, those kinds. So it just depends on the mood. Like, I can either go calm into it, or if I want to get hype, I'll listen to like more like hard stuff.
Hmm. I think there's something to be said about that calm before the storm. Like, I feel like it locks you in a little bit better instead of like, you know, you're already building up all that adrenaline with
Mhm.
listening to like rap music or whatnot. Because like no matter what you listen to before the game, as soon as you step on the field, your adrenaline is crazy.
Mhm.
Like you're already ready to go. So I think there's something to be said about that, like that calmer music to help you kind of lock in, calm your nerves, calm whatever's going on, and then you know you're on the field and you're ready to go.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
so now that we've kind of taken a step away from sports, I want to bring it back to sports and
Mhm.
talk about like the mental side
Okay.
of you know, the game because people don't really realize that like half of sports is all mental. So like how much of your identity would you say is tied to baseball?
At least like 80 to 90%.
Mm.
It's taken up all my life, and I'm glad it has. I love the sport, but since it is a big part of my sport, it can definitely take a toll on my everyday life. Like if baseball's not going well, like it can affect my mood outside of baseball, in the classroom, in the gym, during practice, just at home. Like if I have a bad game or have a bad practice, like it could really take a toll on me. So yeah.
So like obviously we're both seniors and I'm not really sure if you plan on going anywhere with baseball after this, but like say baseball season was over tomorrow. Who is Zander Ditona without baseball?
Good question. I don't know. Like, I guess if I had never played baseball, or if like last game of the season was tomorrow and we didn't go on, I would just say, I'm a dude that loves food and music. Pretty much it.
Life's essentials.
Yeah. I mean, other than baseball, I'm more. I don't know. I don't want to like toot my own horn or whatever, but I'm a pretty laid back guy. Like, I don't really care all that often about things. Whatever happens, happens. That's a big mindset for me.
Yeah, for sure. I can respect that.
Have you ever struggled with confidence issues, whether in or outside of baseball, in the classroom, or even just as like a person to person kind of thing?
Definitely. Well, like I said, is a big part. And like, if I do bad, it can take a toll on my everyday life. And with that said, like that can definitely lower my confidence. High school, I had a pretty low point. Even in these 4 years, I've had some low points of confidence where I didn't have a good game and then, get benched and you don't play for a while and that confidence is at an all time low. Mm. So yeah, I had a couple times of low confidence.
How did you personally like bounce out of it? What helped you the
Well,
most? Was it people you could rely on or music, as you said?
yeah, I mean, I have a lot of getaways. No matter what, I like to get my mind off of it sometimes. I mean, obviously, I like to sit in my thoughts a little bit, reflect, take some time, and then reset. I think resetting is the biggest thing. You can't let one little mistake or one bad day affect the rest of your life. Life moves on. So it's okay to like sulk or be in your thoughts for a bit, but there's a point where you just got to flip it and move on. I like to, let's put some music on, just listen to it, jam out, hang out with my friends, just talk with them, hang out with them, get my mind off. Especially like hang out with my friends, like make me laugh a lot. Laughing is a big part to get out of your head. Or just going and doing something, go drive around, go get dinner out or something like that.
How important do you think it is for an athlete to kind of like allow themselves that reflecting time and also like that time to just like, you know, sit with your own thoughts and do what's best for you after like a big loss or like a bad game? Like how important is that for an athlete to do that?
I think it's pretty important. Like you should not suppress what you're feeling in the moment or after the moment. Like it's okay to feel what you're feeling. Like it's human, right? We're human, we feel things. But I think it's just a matter of how long you or stay in that mindset, you know?
Mm,
Like it's like I said, it's okay to feel how you're feeling, but you just have to flip that switch and just keep going.
yeah, for sure. And like,
And I would 100% agree with that. Even myself, even throughout bad games, I had to just let myself kind of deal with what I was going through so that I could eventually get out of it because it's impossible to just kind of, stay in that state when you have so many opportunities around you to help you grow with friends, family, and just everything that is here to help you. So I really agree with what he's saying and everything there.
yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like it's always important to just like allow yourself that time to reflect and like kind of just like go escape for a bit, like
Hmm.
especially after like a championship loss or like
Hmm.
you had a bad game. Like it's important to just like go out with your boys, like you said, and just like laugh together and and then after you've kind of calmed yourself down, you can take a moment to be like, okay, well, today didn't go my way. Why? And
Hmm.
like, what can I do better in the next game or I practice to prepare myself to be a better version of me in the coming weeks. So I think that reflection is really important.
Yeah.
Now, on the topic of mental health, because that's what this podcast is, right?
Hmm.
Sports media, I feel like doesn't really cover mental
Hmm.
health, like unless like a player commits suicide or like something like that. Why do you think the media kind of neglects such a huge part of human nature?
I mean, I think it's just social media posts what the people want to see, right?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody wants to see the sad part of sports, right? But I definitely think that mental health, especially in, I mean, all sports, but especially in male sports,
Yeah.
where males, they tend to mask their pain. They don't talk about their feelings. We just suppress it and go on. So I think more coverage on mental health and recognizing the importance of it is is should be done because I think there's not just me, not just you, not just the guys that we play the teams on. There's just so many different male athletes that are going through stuff that we don't know about.
Yeah.
So I think shining the light on it will definitely open some windows for people and maybe hopefully help people out.
Yeah, for sure. You got something you want to ask?
I think a really important one is for you being kind of a leader as a senior in college. What are some tips you could give to the younger generation to kind of deal with the stress of baseball as well as being a student athlete?
Personal experience, I would say get the stuff that you don't want to do done because it's easy to get lazy. It's easy to procrastinate. Shoot, I'm a senior. I still procrastinate, but it'll come back to bite you if you hold off on the stuff that you don't want to do. I would say that scheduling is very important, especially as a student athlete. Like you're gonna be busy. You're gonna not have time to eat. You're not gonna have time to do certain things that you want to do. But at the end of the day, it's not about your want, it's about the need. Like I said, say you don't want to do homework, say you don't want to study, you need to study, you need to do homework. So you got to stop thinking about what your wants are and more about what you need and like what's going to be better for you in the long run, you know?
How do you feel like coaches can support the mental health and well-being of their players better?
I think a big one is personal connection and letting the players know that it's okay to come to them about things. Luckily, I have some pretty good relationships with my coaches, all of them. They're pretty cool dudes and they feel like a friend to you. I
Mm,
think that's a big one with coaches. Like if your coach doesn't feel like a friend, like someone you could trust, I feel like that's the part that gets athletes where you can't go to them about something that's bothering you.
yeah.
So I think as a coach, you know, set a relationship with your players of that I'm gonna be there for you. I got your back. Just like they were your teammate and I'm not just a coach.
I think that's huge because at the end of the day, athletes are humans too.
Mm.
We all go through the same stuff, like, like any other human would. Relationship problems, money problems, life sucks, school sucks. Like,
Mhm.
so to have that like, balance of, yes, I'm your coach, but I'm also someone you can rely on when you need to is, I think, so important. I think that's honestly a big reason why a lot of people quit their sports is
Yeah.
because like they feel like they're not connected to the coach or like they don't believe in the coach's philosophy or they just lose the love of the game.
Yeah.
So
Indeed.
I think that's a really, really good point for sure. Now, on the other side, how important is it to have teammates that you can rely on and be honest with about that type of stuff?
I think that's probably even more important than having a good relationship with your coach. Because even if you have a good relationship with your coach, or if you don't, you have someone to fall back on. Like, your family might not always be there, especially if you go to college and you're away from them. Your friends back home, since you're away from them. The teammates, they go to school with you. They have similar schedule with you, especially teammates that you live with. Having them as a support system is super important. Being able to trust them, being able to rely on them when you need, just someone to talk to
Yeah.
is just super important. Because yes, you could talk to them, but since they're also just one of your buddies and like one of your friends, like I said, of how I get my mind off like a bad game or something. Like after you have that talk, you guys can just go hang out,
Yeah.
mess around, and then you get your mind off it, and then things should turn out pretty all right.
Yeah, I mean, same thing. I'm sure you feel the same way. Like having teammates to just be there to support you through the worst of times, I think is so important. Because even then, again, that can be the make or break for why someone doesn't want to play sports anymore. It's like
Mhm.
I'm not connected with my team. Like even though I love the game, I don't feel like I can come to these guys with what I got going on,
Mhm.
or like I don't feel like we're friends. So I think that's pretty important. I got one last question. Hayden, do you want to ask any final questions you got for him?
I think I'm all good. I think I'll let you take this one.
All right. Well, for me to close it out, you and I were both. This is it. This is
Yeah,
our last
it is it.
hurrah. We're both going to graduate. So, are you excited? And what is the next steps for you after Pacific?
Yeah, I am excited. I mean, after 4 years of college baseball, like being a student athlete, it's been fun. I'm tired of it. I'm ready to get out of here. I plan on going to work at a PT clinic. I work as like an aide just to get experience, and then I'm gonna go back to school for however long, 2 or 3 years, and then I think I'm also gonna join the military after that,
Okay.
just to help with pay to
Yeah,
school and whatnot.
for
So
sure.
yeah, that's my plan after college.
Sick, man.
Yeah,
Good for you.
thanks, man.
Good for you. Well, that's all I got. That's all you got. Okay, Raj. Well, Zander, it's a pleasure having you,
Yeah,
my
thank you
bro.
for having me.
Of course. Thank you for coming on and talking with us a little bit about everything going on with you. That's all we got for today. Make sure to check out the next episodes when they come out, and thank you guys for watching. Shoot.